Hello, my name is Carmen Bellos, co-founder of The Great Lesser Known, a website that illuminates lesser-known artists in Middle Tennessee. Today I have the great pleasure of speaking with Tammy O'Conner, glass artist. Hello, Tammy.
Hello, Carmen.
Thank you so much for allowing me and Brandon to come here to your studio and talk to you today.
Oh, it's totally my pleasure.
My first question is where did you start from? Where did you come from, and have you always lived in Tennessee?
No, I'm transplanted here. I'm from Montgomery, Alabama.
Okay.
I grew up there and went to college in Atlanta, Georgia. Lived in Atlanta, met my husband there, started our family there. And about 20 years ago, we moved to Tennessee. My mother-in-law, widow, had turned 90, and it was apparent that she needed a little bit of help. So we moved here, and she lived with us for almost 10 years.
Wow.
She died at our home just 1 week before her 100th birthday.
Wow.
And it was the best decision we've made.
That's wonderful.
I love Tennessee. I love where we live.
I understand that. I have really learned to love Tennessee myself. I came from the West Coast, and to come here was such a cultural change, but it's been a nice cultural change, I have to say. So how did you become interested in art?
Well, my Uncle Jeff has always been my hero. He was a photographer for the Navy, and he is still my hero. And he was always very kind to me and stole my heart at a young age. And I determined I was going to be just like my Uncle Jeff. So I reached high school age, and the meeting with the guidance counselor had a very determined young girl on his hands, and I wanted to be a photographer, and there was just nothing else that would do that. Well, he didn't have a photography program to put me in, so he did the next best thing and put me in a vocational commercial art class. I loved it. A fantastic teacher there, and he introduced me to all kinds of worlds I just love. Maxfield Parrish, Aubrey Beardsley, just beautiful works of art from all over. And as a matter of fact, he took us on a field trip to Atlanta. And that's where I set my heart on the Art Institute. And when I graduated high school, went to Atlanta, went to the Art Institute, and became a photographer.
Excellent.
Well, my design eye was very good, but I was never comfortable with the technical part. I was fine in the darkroom, I was fine with design, but the technical part I never felt secure in. So while working for a photographer, I met a friend that introduced me to glass. And that was Saturday. Monday, I turned in my 2-week notice, signed up for classes, and I've been doing glass ever since.
Oh
I love
gosh. Your journey to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So your career obviously has developed since then.
It has.
So tell me a little bit about that. What from starting probably with just small pieces to, from my understanding, you have some large pieces out there now.
I have been very blessed all through my life. My mother was an interior designer, and she incorporated my work in her clients' businesses and homes.
That's fabulous.
It was a gift, definitely. So I have a piece in the Alabama Waterworks building that's a historical building. I have pieces in homes and in restaurants, and so
you have been very fortunate, and obviously your work is so beautiful that they want to put it in historic homes and these great places.
Thank you.
So what is your primary subject matter, and why is it your primary subject matter?
Well, I have been awarded twice the Whitney Scholarship from the American Glass Guild. And in one of those scholarships, I went to Aramont. And while at Aramont, I just loved their library. I was in their library and found a book on kimonos. And the beauty and the simplicity of the kimono and the lines and it's an endless possibility. It's a palette that's just gorgeous to me. It's quiet and it's delicate and it's beautiful. And so I've used that to bounce off of. I've used that kimono to just kind of bounce my designs off of. And that's the season I'm in right now. That's where I am.
Okay. So what techniques do you employ? I understand there's specific techniques that you use.
I do. I like to employ several in one piece. This is Ming, and she has several techniques. This glass is fused glass that I have made. I've designed the colors and the texture of that glass, and then in the middle you'll see a baby's breath. It's actually a carbon print of the baby's breath plant, and I'll take the plant and put it between glass, take it through a kiln process, and it leaves the carbon print after it's burned off all the fibers. So you have the actual life of that plant that is encapsulated in glass, and I think it makes a beautiful design. And I also do a 3D effect on some of my pieces. So there in that one piece, you have stained glass, you have carbon prints, you have fused glass. So I like to employ that. Sometimes I paint on glass, or I will stencil on glass or screen print. So I just put a lot into the mix.
To tell your story in that glass. So your style?
My son coined a phrase for me that I think is just appropriate. It's organic deco.
I like it.
I think that sums it up. I really do. I think he hit on it right on the nail there.
Your pieces actually spoke to him and told him who you are. That's fantastic. So my last question is, what are you most proud of in your art world and in your personal world? What are you most proud of?
In my personal world, I'm most proud of my children.
That's good.
And my marriage. In my professional career, what am I most proud of? The journey. And it's not over yet.
I can see the joy in your face about that. Thank you so much, Tammy, for taking the time to speak with us today, and I wish you more and more success.
Thank you so much, Carmen.